Right. Hey, hello, welcome back. Now we're going to look at the life of David and his interesting escapades. So, the next couple of days, you are going to be hearing a lot about David, and you will notice that we will read from First Samuel, and we'll pick up Chronicles, and then we'll pick up the Psalms, because it needs to show us that at the time that David was going through this is the Psalm that he wrote, and it's going to be fun. I know you're going to enjoy reading the Psalms and understanding their context. So David enters into the scene, and he shows us that God will wait for you. The time for anointing comes, but his family has forgotten him. But God hadn't. God hadn't. He would have his prophet wait for him until he has been anointed. So don't be in a hurry. Don't feel under pressure. Just trust the fact that God knows you and he knows what concerns you. Okay. So let me look at 6 qualities of a minister that I normally teach about, that I found there in the description of David. It says, First Samuel 16 from 18. It says, I've seen the son of Jesse. Number one, he speaks well. Okay, number one, he's skillful, he speaks well, he's a warrior, he's brave, he's respectful, and those are the beautiful qualities about David. Now, here's something interesting that happens, is that for 40 days, the Philistine was just talking in the air, and no one was hearing him. Their fear was talking. But the difference on that day is that he spoke and David heard it. How many things have you heard and you have done nothing about? Let's think about that. When he was talking day, David heard it, and he would not have anyone defying the armies of Israel. So I want you and I to be that David in our generation, where when we hear certain things, we will do something about them and not just leave them to be. So isn't it interesting in the story of David how his brothers and everyone around says, no, Goliath has been a champion since his youth, and so you're too young. And then wasn't it the right time to actually give David an opportunity to go and learn all these things and also become a serious army commander? So yeah, but so David comes with his CV. I killed a lion, I killed a bear, I did this and I did this. And it's really, really exciting because of the kind of story that he has. Now, I want to pose a big question to us, to say, what is your backing? What is it that you are counting on whenever you're doing things? What's your backing? Who's backing you? But for David, it was clear. When I was young, I fought a lion and I fought a bear, and and God delivered me from all this. So I've got a record. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Because God is taking me through something. So let me read the last portion, 1 Samuel 17 from verse 58. So when the Philistines saw that the hero was dead, they turned and ran. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout and pursued the Philistines to the entry of Gath and to the gates of Ekron. We see a scenario here where where David is is now pursuing the Philistines because he has killed the big one. So whenever you're dealing with your troubles, start with the big one. Once the big one is sorted, everything else comes, because what we see is that when he got to the gates of Ekron, the dead were strewn along the Sharaim road to Gath and to Ekron. and we are seeing him really showing that God is on his side. So aim for the big one. Once you win, the victory belongs to the family, because they will ask, whose child is that? And we will all be proud of you.